time. And alright, we got a visual here. Casual Legends. Is this the stream? It's not quite 7:30 despite everything saying otherwise. I guess I'll just leave this open while I do the little plugs on the other social media accounts. Casually playing. Come on, Legends. Until it gets it gets too hot outside. I think that might just be a better theme, if nothing else. That's completed. Well, no reason not to hit the Twitch button. So that takes care of that. Well, somewhere along the line we dropped 5 frames, but I think things will be okay. Right, and guess I could update the title, but luckily nothing else needs to be changed too much. And while I'm setting up, I'm gonna run that EC again. Try to get as much mileage out of it as possible while I have it on, before I inevitably shut things off. Guess I can get a little peek at what we have here. I think I still got, in order to complete the Hisui decks, I think I still gotta get Lilligant, which I would need to go to Ireland's for. And to be honest, I have to double check what the other one is, but at least we got a little bit of a start. How far do I gotta scroll through my feed in order to know? I'm suddenly regretting retweeting that huge lesser dog thread. I could have probably waited until after I streamed to share the art. Believe it or not, I'm live. And I could just... Oh no! Of course, YouTube's not seeing... of course that would happen. Right when I was gonna say that everything's under control. Why does the time have to be impeccable? YouTube's not maintaining enough receiving the video to run smoothly, but there's nothing. There was a bit of frame drops, but it's showing green on OBS now. Let me watch the preview. From what I see, okay, at least now it seems like everything's fine on the preview. I don't got too much time to mess around with this though. If the frame dropping becomes a major issue, I guess we just end the stream early, because I don't know what I can really do about that. Like, first the Pokemon XD, or the XD stream shenanigans, now this. Between technical issues and the heat forecast thunderstorms. We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, I don't see any reason to part of my pauses, I just gotta share the stream in a couple more places, and then we'll be good to go. For now, along with Pokemon Legends Arceus. Yeah, I've been thinking... Don't tell me I got more frame drops. That doesn't look like more frame drops. It looks like I'm just in a menu. Sorry, I'm gonna be pairing... YouTube said... No, that's the Twitch end. Okay, now YouTube says everything is fine, but... Too little too late, YouTube. Now I'm gonna be paranoid about the technical issues for the rest of the stream. Yeah, don't mind about the AC once we actually find Pokemon. Or once I actually start playing the game, I'll turn it off temporarily. But I figure while we're just sitting here, not much is going on anyways. I'm only hurting myself by not having it going and keeping cool. That it? Oh, I guess I don't have as many apricorns as I thought. That's fine, I do have money. I may not have resources, but at least I got money. I should really pull up OBS so I can better track the chat on both sides. Okay. I probably don't need Discord running anymore. I don't need this window either. Stock up on the sky balls. How am I doing with potions? Probably not worth going for all this for just 2 hyper potions, but alas, I'm in the motions, so why not? Always craft all the sticky globs whenever I have them. And I guess sure, I have enough to make Poke Dolls. So let's commit to it. Supplies I want to put away. Save. And I guess I'll turn the AC off for this first massive outbreak. So, if anyone's coming in without context of previous streams, essentially I have a personal goal to try to get shiny of every Hisui variant before the release of Legends ZA. the more I think about it, and the fact that I'm probably not going to pick up Legends EA at launch, the less significant that particular part of the goal gets. But it's still a goal of mine to try to get every Hisui Pokemon. Ah, screw it. Since I went through all the trouble of turning off the AC, I guess I can just quickly check to see if we get any Cyndaquils of note here before hopping over, before we start the soft resetting shenanigans. Hey Aaron, welcome. Oh. These Cyndaquils seem a little bit paranoid. But how's it going? No, I was gonna just reset if none of these were shiny, but if I'm gonna start doing Pokemon moves... Oh, that was just my Pokemon. I can't get started by his cry. It's just been a hot minute since I've fought with one, so like the shimmer of it, the fact it kind of loosely sounds like a sparkle. Apparently my brain is more tired than I gave it credit for, because first of all I was to associate that with like a shiny or something. And as for you, pretty good week. Found your first Arceus shiny a few weeks ago that wasn't Deponia. Nice. Sure, if you want to actually try to not run away Cyndaquil, I won't complain. Anything that makes it easier for me to catch you and all your little fellas. So yeah, like, I don't know. In hindsight, I kind of feel like I shouldn't have streamed, but I do feel like I kind of hyped up the fact that I would stream again in the previous stream, and I didn't stream last week, so I wanted to really not make up excuses to not stream this week. But with the thought in the back of my head of like just taking a break from streaming until I finish the work on the Pokemon XG playthrough is relatively strong right now, considering that it's like in the 80s. Last I checked the temperature, almost in the 90s. I think I'll be good though, because even though I got the AC off, I did have it running all the way up to when stream started. So I'm crossing my fingers that the cool air will last us for a good chunk of the stream, but like... There's always gonna be one excuse or another to just focus on the projects that I'm already starting to work on, and not worry too much about the live streams until, at the very least, XG is done. But all that's not really in the present to worry about. As for the day itself, I guess it's been a good day. A long day, but decent. Pretty good. Took care of some errands. Went to a Target. Went to a store that wasn't a grocery store for like the first time in a hot minute. It found me, but I don't really have any good way to actually... What do we need to do with Progly? Really double edge and play rough? I think I might need to do strong style moves and not fast style moves, which, if that's the case, then I feel like kind of a fool for going for that. And I don't mess around with Drapion too much, so maybe we'll at least get some field research for that Pokemon. Just over the course of grinding away. Yeah. the day just went by way too fast for me, and I think that's half the problem with my hesitation today, because, like, went out, took care of some grocery shopping. Like I said, went to a store for the first time in what feels like months, outside the grocery stores, and in that process, I got to see a place where Switch 2s would allegedly be sold. I was kind of hoping that with, like, it being about a month since the Switch 2 came out, not to say that I was gonna pick one up at the time, but I was curious how common in stock they were. Because I have been tempted, at the very least, even though there's no Switch 2 games yet that I'm really interested in. I have been tempted to get one just for better processing power. Because it's not like I can't afford a Switch, it's a matter of I don't see a point of getting the next Switch until I have a good reason to. Where is the last Pokemon? Was that the whole... Oh, I guess that was just a whole outbreak. You haven't seen them in stock either. Congrats on looking out and getting it at the Walmart and that, but still, wow. I don't know why. I thought that, like, Switch 2 hype would have died down at least a little, that a restock would have been a thing by now. But the fact that, like, they're still... In my one anecdotal incident, a rare occurrence in the wild, has me a little concerned about getting one anytime soon. At least it works to my favor because I definitely can wait. Yeah, but it does. But not having the option to is always a little bit disappointing. I'm kind of mixed of how to feel about all that in general, because, like, part of me actually hopes that they don't sell well, just so I can better justify not caring, but I also acknowledge that that's kind of petty, so I'm not quite sure how to feel about it. Oh yeah, while I didn't have Switch 2, they did have one on the kiosk. And man, I don't even know if I've ever played a game console on a kiosk since childhood. Yet, that's exactly what I did. So at least I got to finally try out Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm not sure if I just wasn't in an environment to really get comfortable and get used to the controls, but, like, I could see how the game is good, but I couldn't really fall in love with the game in that short period of time I spent with it. Like, the main gameplay loop of just destroying everything didn't appeal. It felt, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it definitely felt overhyped. And I couldn't really get into the groove of it all. I guess that's not a bad thing. That just means that I made the right choice of not picking it up because it wasn't for me personally. But there is a part of me that just wonders if I could have got to play it in a better context, if I would have been able to enjoy it, because, like, my biggest qualm with it has nothing to do with the gameplay itself, is DK's design, and, like, that shouldn't be a factor. It wasn't really even too much of a factor while I was playing the demo. So, like, in theory, that wouldn't be an issue if I actually owned the game and was playing it proper either. I don't know, just, like, something felt missing from the little experience I had. I can't put my fingers on it. Oh, hey, Vikrin. Welcome. So, I am technically shiny hunting for Lilligans and one other Hisui I don't have yet that I gotta double check. But I couldn't find any of this outbreak. I was already out here and I had some research registered on the Pokedex, so I'm just doing random outbreaks that are in the area, and then we'll go back to hunting them proper. And I guess if there's anything you want to add to the conversation, we were just talking a little bit about Switch 2, so if you have any experiences, positive or negative, feel free to throw that into the ring. And yeah, like, I'm glad that you're okay with this, because this is typically how these sorts of streams go. Like, I say that they're shiny hunting streams, but they're more just excuses for me to roam around the land. And with only 2 Pokemon left, the soft resetting would definitely get tedious if I only soft reset until I got an outbreak that I wanted. Like, this feels like a little bit of a middle ground for me. Getting to slowly work on my Pokedex, but still making some progress towards that hunting that I ultimately would want. And plus it makes it more interesting because we actually have opportunities to face, I think is what the term is in the Pokemon shiny hunting community and all. Speaking of sidetracks and distractions, I'm kind of a sucker for satchels. Like, it feels like doing a community service without having to expose myself to the real world. On a similar tangent, really? Being seen by a wild Pokemon? One day, I want to try to find some sort of game where I could properly play a white mage role, because I feel like that would be fun for me. But I'm not really into, like, the common team games that are out there. Like, MMOs feel like way too much of a commitment. I'm not really a fan of first-person shooters, so team shooters are kind of hard for me to get into. And those are, like, the 2 main multiplayer aspects that are out there these days. So finding something like that would be a little bit of a stretch. Favorite Pokemon? It leans a bit between Umbreon and Ampharos. First thought that came to mind is Umbreon, so today Umbreon's my favorite Pokemon. But yeah, like, it sucks that, like, Dynamax Adventure was, like, the perfect multiplayer mode for me, and they abandoned it immediately after Sword and Shield. But then again, I'm kind of used to, like, Game Freak and other Pokemon people just, like, moving on from the one thing that I get used to. Hence, still playing this game despite Scarlet and Violet being a thing and Legend ZA not being too far behind. It's hard to believe that we're only, like, give or take 2 months away. And it's kind of a shame that, for me personally, that they're going in a bit more of in a different direction, because it's not like I'm not opposed to anything new, but it does kind of feel like the direction is more like, let's make this more like the main series games, but with the action oriented stuff, than it is capturing the elements that I like from this game. But why am I just stock up on stuff? Why am I back here already? Let's see, I think Scyther was the other one off the top of my head. I got a little app for tracking how many checks I got, so I'm gonna pull that up before going to the spot, but I'm pretty sure the thing I'm thinking of is Scyther. Yeah, Scyther and the Lilligant line. And since Scyther technically can show up here, I'll give it a check. Why do I only have 181 checks recorded? Like, it makes sense that we're under odds and haven't found it yet. But at the same time, oh, I still have berries. But at the same time, it feels like Scyther's a Pokemon I see all the time. Favorite shiny? Yeah, if I think too hard about this question, then it's gonna go... then I'm gonna end up going in practically every direction. So the first thought that came to mind was Shinx. Finding the shiny Shinx line. So we'll stick with that for now. But I pretty much like any cool color combination. Like, I think this question came up last stream, and the chatter responded back that with Mimikyu, that was a pretty good option. And thinking more about it, like, I'm a sucker for a similar look that Shiny Megamite goes for. That's a shiny. It's not a Pokemon that I would normally talk a lot about otherwise, but it is a really cool shiny that comes to mind. Your favorite is Greninja. That's the all black one, right? Yeah, that's a pretty cool shiny too. Neither of the Pokemon I'm looking for are in the Icelands, but technically, when I was looking for the shiny Avalugg, I literally got a shiny Avalugg and not the Burmite. So whenever I see Icelands as an option, there's always a temptation to just quickly check for Burmite. Because even though it's technically not a Hisui Pokemon until it evolves, I do feel kind of robbed finding the shiny Burmite. You know what? While we're here, so we're not just soft saying the whole time, I'll check for Rufflet as well, because I did get a shiny Braviary, but I'm pretty sure it's just directly a Braviary and not the Rufflet. So we'll take it as a consolation prize. Especially because, like, otherwise, if I'm soft resetting too often, then I'm gonna turn the AC back on, and, like, no one really wants that. Like, I don't want to just spend all the time soft resetting, and you all don't want to really hear the background noise of the AC while I'm going. I guess on the tangent of Pokemon games, has anyone else tried that mobile game, spin-off game that they released around... They shall drop during the Pokemon Presents? Because I wouldn't mind talking about that for a little bit if anyone else is cool with it. Because I feel like it's kind of underrated. Like, sure, it's probably not the second coming of the spin-offs. Oh, no, Pokemon Champions isn't out yet. So that's, while I did talk about that, that's not what I was referring to. It's this thing called Pokemon Friends. For some reason I want to say Pokemon and Friends, but I'm pretty sure it's just Pokemon Friends. It's a little, like, crossword... It's like this little... You know what, sure. Before I get completely decimated, let's just duel some birds. With my grass type. This can only go well. But yeah, Pokemon Friends is like this little puzzle app. I know it's on Switch as well as mobile, but I think the way they work between the two platforms is drastically different. Like, I have to fact check, but I think like on Switch you have to pay $10 in order to play it, but while on mobile it's free. The catch is that on mobile is, well, very mobile-y, where you only get to do like one puzzle per day, And if you want unlimited puzzles, that's where you pay the $10 for. It's kind of like a similar. It's kind of a blend between how mobile games actually are and how Mario Run handled mobile gaming. And I think it works for this type of game, if only because it's kind of like having a daily crossword that you open up the app, do some quick little puzzles, and take the yarn you get from the puzzles to try to get little plushies. It's cute. It doesn't go all into the cute aesthetic like Cafe Mix, I think it's called. But I guess I've been so desperate for Pokemon games that actually have puzzles that I've been enjoying this. Like, I would say that we haven't really had like good Pokemon puzzles since the series went 3D and got rid of HM, but that might be a little too harsh and extreme. Sword and Shield's the first game that comes to my mind in particular when I think about how just like the dungeon aspect of Pokemon died. But it might have happened a little earlier, and there might be some arguments for things happening a bit later. Like, this game's a good example. As much as I love it, there isn't like too many opportunities where you do puzzles, and the closest examples I can think of to puzzles are not really fun ones. Like, I think of like the Reggie statue quote-unquote puzzle, and like just it being coming off a little more tedious than it is fun. Oh yeah, thinking more about it, I think like in the Sword and Shield DLC there was like a puzzle to get to the Reggies as well. I never actually got that far in the DLC. I literally only bought Pokemon Sword to do Dynamax Adventure, and outside of playing the game up to the Pokemon League, I haven't really done anything else with Pokemon Sword besides Dynamax Adventures and spending way too much time trying to do the Masuda method to get a shiny Mindfu because I'm too stubborn to buy the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. Where are the other birds? There you are. Well, this might be neutral at the very least. And that's it for the one thing I really wanted from this area. But I also kind of want to play this out and but I don't want my berries to go to waste. I guess that's the point I'm trying to get at. So maybe I'll do a couple more outbreaks. I could have done practically anything to avoid that, but it's fine. One more check mark for the research that I probably wouldn't have bothered with otherwise. Can't complain too much about that. Because, man, like, as much as I think that the Pokedex for this game gets a little overhated, it is kind of ridiculous that I probably have like 400 hours into this game, and still I'm nowhere close to done in mastering everything. Granted, I'm pretty sure like there's probably at least 100 hours or so before I started taking the shiny hunting and Pokedex research stuff seriously, but still. It's like nice, but also not nice that like there's still stuff that I have yet to do in this game despite how much time I put into it. I guess it's a decent compromise or compensation for the fact that this is probably the only Switch game that I'll be playing for the rest of the Switch's lifespan. Do I go after Curlia just in case there's like an alpha outbreak? I think I will. Even though that it's probably a little bit out of the way. I might as well rest up. You're currently catching all the Pokemon so you can get Arceus. Nice. Yeah, I'm not that far behind on the Pokedex. I have gotten to the point of taking care of that a while ago, but it's still a nice goal to have. Like, that just reminds me of how little I engage with the noble Pokemon gameplay aspect of this game, despite having quite a bit of fun with it during my own playthrough. Like, it was fun to go through with the story, and you think that would mean that I would bother to do the DLC additions for that, but yet with all the time put into the game, I think I've only really touched like the Arcanine rematch and the Scyther rematch. I guess I just I'm so focused on trying to get these shiny Pokemon in the Pokedex that I don't really have time to even think about these other elements of the game. But that does remind me that those elements exist, and I really should engage with that more. Shoot, and now I got myself thinking about how it's probably a bit of a shame that we're not going to have boss fights in that sort of sense in ZA, and like getting boss fight in the games are going to be more traditional trainer battles, because like, I don't know, like I don't hate trainer battles, but playing this game so much has reminded me of just like how fun and refreshing that was instead. And it's kind of like when they tried to do something different with the gym formula in Sun and Moon by introducing the trials. I don't know, like, on paper, that was different enough to scare away the diehard fans that only play Pokemon games with gyms, but in execution, a trial in Sun and Moon isn't that different from a gym in any other Pokemon game. Oh, it's just normal Gardevoirs. While I'm here, though, I guess I'll catch them. What is your favorite Mega? Probably Mega Ampharos. Because, like, I'm already a fan of Ampharos. The hair is fabulous. And like, that's a lot of reasons in of itself. Oddly enough, that's not a question I think about too often, so I think if I were to, like, look at every single Mega Evolution, I might give you a different answer. But Ampharos is definitely the first one that comes to mind. Oh yeah, I really like how Mega Gardevoir comes out, to the point where that might actually be my favorite. But I have to, like, look at them side by side to really know for sure. And you know what? I don't need Lickitung. I already got a shiny Lickitung accidentally from an outbreak. I've probably gotten several. But it's right here, so I might as well just give it a quick check. Maybe not too much of a check. Well, if I've really never seen it do rollout before, Well, you know what? None of these are shiny. Even though I've definitely gotten a shiny Zora and a shiny Zoroark already, I'd rather check a Zora outbreak than another Lickitung outbreak. They're a little more fun, especially when I'm reckless as well. Oh, that was fast. Well, no reason to not just catch these real quick before heading back. So I guess think this is the last one, so I'll just agile style that down real quick. And the time's going by faster than I expected, because initially I was only going to stream for an hour, but we're already at 40 minutes. But what I think I will do, especially with this heat, is before I really get into any more mass outbreaks, I'll take a break. But it's not time for that quite yet, so I'm not gonna babble on too much about it. Shoot, I forgot to take out the snowballs. Not sure why I would actually use them over the sticky gloves, but still. Right, we caught 30 Pokemon. More importantly, let's see what research we got out of this. Because, like, this is the reason why I'm not good. Not as much as I was expecting, but this is the reason why I am not good with just soft resetting until we get an outbreak that we want. Because, like, I used to have a goal to fully master every single page of this Pokedex. And with how much more I still have to go with how much time we put into the game, that dream has kind of stopped becoming a reality. But, like, as long as I keep playing it, I still want to keep working towards it. And if I feel like I spend all my time soft resetting for stuff and not actually playing the game, I'll never make progress towards that goal. Even if I only make a little. Alright. Yeah, I'm just debating if I want to, like, try to find my outbreak now or after the break. Let's see. Nothing that great here. Oh, I got a fair middle ground. Why did you chose Cyndaquil as your starter? I'm impressed you were able to tell just from the fact that I was in the party. I guess it doesn't help that it's a level 100 Pokemon, but pretty much every Pokemon that was part of my main team is at level 100 at this point. But yeah, I essentially chose Cyndaquil as my starter because Cyndaquil was my favorite Pokemon of the three. And I even would say that Cyndaquil is my favorite. Even the final evolution, I would say, is my favorite. I hear mixed opinions of if that's a hot take or not, but probably especially a hot take is the fact that I think I like Hisui Typhlosion more than the normal Typhlosion. I don't know, Cyndaquil is cute. Kulava has that nice blend between cute and cool to me. Typhlosion, I get they were going for something really cool and tough, but it doesn't vibe with me as cool compared to the average Cyndaquil fan. But Hisui Typhlosion, I think because of his mythical origins and the purples and the darker colors and the mythical flame, that makes it kind of stand out a bit more in my eyes. It'd be easy to blame the fact that how many Pokemon games don't have flames, but like when I think of Typhlosion, I think of it from like Coliseum and XD the most. So like that shouldn't be a factor. It had flames in those games, so I was familiar with it with flames, but for some reason I'm just not a big fan of how Typhlosion's 3D model looks in the Coliseum games in particular. So it was kind of nice to have like one of my favorite starters get a final evolution that I really vibe with, and I no longer really feel hesitant to evolve it. Alright. I guess we are just soft resetting, but until I can get the outbreak at this point. Because I was thinking that it'd be cool just to leave the game on the title screen and let you enjoy the opening cinematic, but at this point it'd be kind of Don't ask me why, but like from a thematic standpoint, it just wouldn't make sense to like soft reset, leave, and then soft reset some more. You would choose it as well because you like all fire types mostly. Fair enough. I don't know if I don't really consider myself the type of person that just is loyal to a single type my entire Pokemon career, but I hear about a lot of people who kind of just vibe that way. So it's an interesting perspective. Like I guess I can see if you have a type that you really like, why you would want to be committed to it. Oh hey, there. It might not have Lilligant, but I'm willing to take that as an excuse to take a break. But let me finish my thought first. To take a long story short, like, I just go with whatever starter design vibes with me. If I'm already familiar with the Pokemon, that might influence my starter choice as well. But I kind of just, like, go with vibes of Pokemon and see it through. A major exception I can think of was Chespin. I don't know, like, for some reason I went for that instead of one of the other 3 Kalos starters, and like it evolved, and I kind of just like I stopped vibing with it as much, and decided to try to go for my first Pokemon playthrough without a starter. In hindsight, that feels a bit unfair to Chespin, because I'm sure if I were to actually try to use it again, it wouldn't be so bad. But I'm not sure when I would have a good excuse to ever use a Chespin again to give it another chance. It's definitely not something I'm going to think about today. You'd think the same thing would have happened in Scyther, but I did go with Litten as my starter in Sun and Moon, and I was able to keep Incineroar going through the entire game. I guess I'm just not as much of a hater of the humanoid Pokemon as some of the other Pokemon fans are out there. If you remind me when I get back, though, if you're really curious, maybe I could talk more about that. But like we're almost at like 15 minutes, and I really need to refill my water at the very least. Also, be a good excuse to run the AC and try to get this room cool again. So I'm gonna throw the prompt up here. I had a good place to put it. And yeah, I'll see you all in a few minutes. Alright. I'm just gonna procrastinate, stall for time, so the AC gets as much time as it possibly can to run. Oh, I guess we're just. Guess I got back just in time. It'd be nice if we found one outbreak of the Pokemon I was hunting for in the time frame of this stream. But just to be on the safe side, I'm not going to turn off the AC until I confirm that there's a Petalil here. 175. Where is mine? And no Petalil. Yeah. Since I'll probably only be going for another 40 minutes. My general stream length is an hour and a half to 2 hours anyways. And with how things are going so far, I think I would enjoy going more towards the 2 hour than the hour and a half end. But point being is that what was the point? Was it related to the AC or related to something else? I guess the point being is like I need to get as much cool air circulating as possible if I want to keep going. Wasn't expecting to get another outbreak here so quickly. Yeah, like more time I have for cold air to come through here, the better. If there was another point that I was actually intending, and I can remember it later, I'll just bring it up then. And nothing again. Wrong one. It's kind of embarrassing that I've played my Switch so little that the two Pokemon games, that my next two Pokemon games, or the other two Switch Pokemon games are the most recent thing I've touched. Especially because I know Let's Go Eevee, I've only touched the dump shiny Pokemon from Go into a mainline game without having to worry about the home regulations. I definitely haven't touched Let's Go Eevee outside of catching Pokemon in the Go Park for a while. Favorite gen? I don't know if I could really even answer that question. Like, it'd probably be one of the pre-Switch ones, but there's enough going on with each of the Pokemon games. Like, Gen 1, I'm a sucker towards the Chip 2 music. Gen 2, probably one of my favorite regions. Gen 3, kind of like where puzzles were peak. Like, the only one of the two 2D games that I wouldn't call my favorite is Gen 4, ironically enough. And, like, Gen 5 is a classic in its own right. It allowed me to refresh my... It kind of gave me the feelings of playing Pokemon for the first time again, because I got it back in the day when it came out, so all the Pokemon were new. And that alone really made for a refreshing experience. God. Could I pick a favorite? I leaned most towards Gen... You know what? I'm going to take the cheap answer out, because Pokemon XD is probably my favorite mainline... The closest thing to my favorite mainline Pokemon game. And that's Generation 3. And while Hoenn I'm kind of mixed on, I do appreciate the way that they handle puzzles in Gen 3. So, yeah, let's go with Gen 3 for now. Gen 1 does have a soft place in my heart, though, because of Pokemon Yellow. All good with the dinner and that. I just got back from break myself, so picked a good time to be able to hang out, take part in the chat. Shoot, can't believe we've done the song dance so many times that I forgot to actually get the berries out. So let's try this again. I haven't been paying close attention. Has this been the same thing every time? I know that the Pokemon the outbreaks are supposed to change. Why is the one time that I am software setting for stuff resulting in this mess? And like, at this point, I might just need to turn the AC off because like this is becoming the content in of itself. Yeah, BBQ chicken does sound good. Wasn't quite BBQ chicken, but I had chicken sandwiches and corn myself. We do grow corn around here, but it's not coming quite yet. It feels like a lot of local places, corn is coming in later than usual. Oh, that might be the issue because I'm doing it from Jubilice Village. Shoot. No, I feel bad for wasting your all times. Because, like, yeah, it doesn't reset in the village. You have to actually do it before you get back to town. No wonder we were just running into the same outbreak over and over again. So, maybe I can alleviate that by actually saving this time. Point being, though, found a place, got some corn. Found a place that was selling corn, had some corn in the cob, and it was pretty nice. I feel like I'm a bit more fickle on corn these days. But that cob was pretty good, so I guess I'm not sick of corn this year. I'm really looking forward to the zucchini coming in, because that's probably one of my favorite things to have in the summer when it's nice and fresh. So it's going to be a little unfortunate because like not as many zucchini plants this came in this year. Like usually we have like 3 to 5 plants, and I think this year only 2 zucchini plants came in. Partly an accident with how many we planted, and partly because of just how weird the weather's been. Like I would say the other vegetable I look forward to most from the garden is broccoli, but it's very much, I would say it's a coin flip of if it even comes out well at all, but that would imply a 50-50 chance. And it definitely feels like the broccoli fails to come out good from the garden more than it doesn't. But it is really nice when the broccoli is fresh though, and doesn't like get swarmed by bugs or just starts to bloom before it even pops up. I'm hoping that it can still be salvaged, but it's not looking too promising this year. And I feel a little bad because like I have not been as active in the garden this year as some previous years, so I feel partly responsible because like I'm the one who cares about. It's not broccoli is those plants aren't directly my responsibility, but I know based on bias, I'm the one who would care about the broccoli the most, so I'd be the most likely to actually give it the attention it needs, and I definitely wasn't doing that this year. Well, this is one part that sucks. I'm so close, but the issue is when we're so close, that means there's less things to go for. And when there's less things to go for, that means I have to reset more to get what I want. And, like, I definitely feel my patience waning, and I'm kicking myself in the butt right now for not realizing the mistake I made until, like, 5 soft resets in. Well, why do I keep calling it soft resets? It's literally the opposite of that, because I'm booting out the console completely, or booting out the game completely, and reloading it. That's called a hard reset, Jackie K. That's not a soft reset. Screw it. I'm pretty sure nothing I want can even pop up here, but I'm so tired of soft resetting, I might as well at least check to see if there's any cool Pokemon. What you got for us, Mai? And not really anything much better. And feel free to let me know if the AC is too loud, by the way. I know nothing important is happening, and that's the main reason I feel like I can get away with running it, but if it's too distracting, too loud, I can always see if I can turn it down a bit. Because it has been running for a while, so I could probably get away with turning it off for the rest of the stream. But because I can, I'm tempted to see how long I can get, or how much I can get away with. Like, cause like, dang, I'm almost out of water already. Oh, shoot it, now I got the choice between the Meyerland or the Fieldland. I could save here and check each of them, but I'll do that. Just gotta remember that if neither of them have what I'm looking for, then I gotta just take my losses. Oh, funny enough, I pressed the button before I even read your message. Or like my phone was, I was hovering, I think it was literally at the same exact time that I saw your message and when I pressed the button. Plus, we have this backup, so we can technically do both. Nothing here, but maybe Cyndaquil. Like, I think it was I forget if it was a Shining Cyndaquil or a Shining Clova, but I got one of the two. No. Before I get tempted to get off tangent, gotta check the other one. There it is. That's the downside of doing it first. It means like I probably won't go back to it as a compromise because I still have to worry about it. Like, how many hard resets do I gotta do before the time I save on a Switch 2 compared to a Switch 1 pays itself off? Like, makes the Switch 2, that feature alone making the Switch 2 worth my money. I really should have just gotten 2 cups of water. Like, even if it'd be much shorter than the last break, really don't want to take another break so soon just to get more water, but I really can't commentate in these conditions without a full glass of water. So neither of them really have anything cool. Minus like the Cyndaquil. Well, it's been a bit since we've checked to see if the Irelands or the Icelands had any Burmies or Burmites. And I swear, if we end up getting a shiny Burmite before the other two that we don't have a shiny of already, won't be too bad. Alright. Here's what I'll do. If this... I forgot to save. It's fine. There's no Burmite here. Then we're gonna boot back to the title screen. And before I start the game again, you all are gonna watch the title screen real quick while I fill up my water. It's a nice, beautiful title screen. I like how it changes from area to area. So, we're all going to take a moment to appreciate the little things that go for granted while I take care of that. Alright, my glass is filled to the rim, and I completely forgot until I stepped away that I technically have 2 water bottles in my walking bag. They're like half or less empty that I could have just used up first before stepping away. But hey, that just means that unless I really gotta go to the bathroom from all that water, that we have no excuse until I'm done with the stream. Man, like, I think I actually would prefer to drink out my water bottle than the glass that I just filled. Right, I actually go to an area before I get soft reset. But hey, I can actually turn the AC off because even though there's no pedal here, this is the perfect excuse to actually go after those Cyndaquils. So let's see what we got. Got Cyndaquil, Goomy. If it wasn't minus the Lickitung, this whole row down here is actually pretty promising. Did I just call a column a row? Yeah, it is the same outbreak, Fikrin. I was a bit all over the place, but the point I was getting at, it's like, since I forgot to save before, outside of town, I might as well just go back to this outbreak and check the Cyndaquils. It was between the two options we got, this was the one that I preferred slightly more, so it kind of worked to our favor. Yeah. We're gonna have to like go for all the shiny boxes I have and get a gauge of getting a gauge of, okay, you know what, that train of thought has well left the station. Onwards to brighter pastures. I swear, is this water bottle still frozen? No, I would say, like, this water bottle, I took this water bottle out of the freezer since at the, like, in the morning, and I've been carrying it around with me all day. If it was still frozen, I mean, we're gonna have to get some scientists out here, because we need to harness that pseudoscience for the general good. But no. Its time in the sun has been long gone. Alright, so nothing cool with this Cyndaquil stare. It's been a while. Feel like we're popping up to being overdue for just a general flyby. But nothing yet. Already got Cyndaquil and at least one shiny Goodra, but while we're here, I don't see the harm in getting another one. Yeah, we need that tech for ice cream. Exactly. And, like, I'm gonna have to go get ice cream tomorrow, because I was gonna do it today while I was out, but I really wanted to get an ice cream sandwich, because we have some places around here that do some really good cookie ice cream sandwiches, cold and cold homemade. But I went for the trouble of like walking a good block or two to one of the places I knew that did ice cream sandwiches, and they were completely out of stock. So I have not had ice cream proper this weekend, or this week. So I'm gonna have to fix that tomorrow. Too late to do it today. That's it for Goomy. And like, I don't want to jinx it, but like, Murkrow is a cool shiny, and I'm pretty sure that's one that I don't have yet. So if I have to get a shiny today that's not a target, sure, fly right into the alpha Pokemon. I'm sure that's just a brilliant idea. It could be worse. I guess that's what I'm getting at. I really should actually invest in the stealth spray stocks. Because if anything's gonna see me while I'm just roaming around here, it's gonna be these Pokemon. Case in point. Oh, right, I got Play Rough. Maybe I can get away with fast style moves after all. But I think it's actually strong style I have to do it probably, not fast style. So we'll deal with that. Alright. If I could have a turn any day now, that'd be nice. Second Play Rough. Oh wait, isn't there a button that lets me see the turn count more exactly? I could have sworn there was. There was definitely like a screen. But I'm pressing minus and pressing plus. I don't recall what button it would be. But I remember that part of the UI a very long time ago. Oh, there it is. It's in the... Was it on the right side the whole time? Or did I just, like, one of the random buttons I pressed actually triggered it? Shoot. None of these are really great against Murkrow. At least if I go for Edge style moves, because I got it anyways for the research. I'll get 2 chances if I need it. Not needed, though. And now they're gonna just keep seeing me over and over. At this point, I don't even think it's worth the time fighting them. Nice. I feel on a roll today. So we can just get the Murkrow that I stunned, though? Alright, and that's it. Screw it. It's along the way. We've already put this much time into the mass outbreak. Let's check for Teddiursa as well. Wouldn't hurt. I already evolved one up to Ursaluna, but I guess the second one wouldn't hurt. Plus it gives me an excuse to go after the Satchel. I'm almost mistaken that Herb in the distance for a shiny Teddiursa, and I was gonna freak out of just how it was just the first thing available. Get you. You're not. I was gonna say you don't. I don't think you're too far away from me to snag. Wow. I think that's the quickest I breeze through an outbreak. And there's a second wave. Hey. Not exactly impossible for it to be in Ursaluna. Just next to it. Especially if they all see me at once. On guard. I really don't want to use close... Even though I should for the research, I really don't want to use close combat 2 times in a row. I'm just gonna hope that strong style moves is something I gotta do. Edge style move, and if I need it, I could go for strong style afterwards to finish it off. But I've gotten so used to Pokemon being strong, despite being overleveled, that I'm not used to like my overlevelness actually meaning something. Alright. That being said, didn't see anything really any research tack up. So if I can just get through the rest of this without fighting any more of them, that would be my ideal situation. But not to the point of wasting a sticky glob. To your save files, you have a shiny star after each save file, and you use it in the main story. Oh, Earth's Ring is already done. I guess I was looking for Machamp. Okay, I guess it's just strong style moves that I still need to do. That can be arranged. That's the water bottle done. And that's about my patience for this outbreak done. I don't know, like maybe... My dude? Are you doing okay? I just noticed that your name... I'm not going crazy, right? Like, his name does not normally look like that. You're Laviton. Galaxy member. Okay. Wow, I actually found a glitch in the name. Don't see that happen every day. If only we had a button to assure that we could savor this moment for time to come. What happened to his name? I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm so baffled about. It, like, got completely scrambled up and glitchy. He's okay now, though. Alright, new observations. I guess if we're not going to find a shiny tonight, then at least something fun happened. Right. Did enough play roughs to upgrade per long. Gotta remember it's agile moves I gotta do, not the strong style. Save. And unfortunately, we're back on the reset grind for the outbreak that we're looking... Excuse me. For the outbreak that we're looking for. On the plus side, that means I get to have the AC running again. Or maybe not. Let me see if this is anything eventful before I get too caught up in having that running. Okay. Thanks for coming, Vikran. It was nice having you on. Been a while since I've actually done like the Pokemon FAQ stuff, so I hope you enjoyed that little addition. And hope you take care. Nothing else. Might be more of an excuse to have AC grind time. I think this is an excuse for AC grind time. We're almost at the hour-and-a-half mark anyways. I think I'm gonna go until... At this point, I'm definitely gonna go until I find the Mass Outbreak I'm looking for. At minimum. We'll see how close... We'll see if I make it to 2 hours. Before I just go, nah, I'd rather just keep the 8. I'd rather just play on my own time. Have AC running a bit longer. Lots of good stuff like that. Gives you more time to like actually make navigation tabs for the stream. It might be a little awkward to do that with this one, with how little has actually happened. But that's probably all the more reason for me to actually bother with navigation timestamps for this one, because of how many soft resets, how many sections of soft resets with the AC running there's gonna be in the stream. Hey. That water's gone. Do I want to finish up the other water bottle, or am I just content with the cup I have here? You know, I guess it's cool to be able to move the camera in dialogue boxes, but I would much rather have that second stick be an alternate way to navigate through these menus. So I could, like, one hand the game, like, have the controller in one hand and have my glass of water in the other. I guess the thing they would just tell you is, like, why don't you just hold the water with your right hand? But then how would I press the A button? Yeah, I know this is unrelated, but Burmite is also on my radar, so I'll take any excuse to just find the outbreak I'm looking for sooner rather than later. And not as much. I really shouldn't. But it is tempting. It's like, what if it's an alpha outbreak? And what if it ends up being shiny? You could have 2 alpha shiny starters. Isn't that worth the slight detour, Jackie K? Maybe. But I refuse to turn on the AC turn off the AC until I know this isn't a waste of my time. These things are kind of aggressive, so if I'm not just like, feel like they're gonna see me without much hesitation. Well, I mean, I guess getting an alpha that early on is a sign. Is that like, wait, was that 2 Samurats in a row? Why do I have Duck's Textile here still? No, if there's enough going on, I could probably turn this off. I told the world that I had the AC running for a while, so I probably could have turned it off anytime. Maybe it's time to put my money where my mouth is. Are you really the last one? I guess we're gonna find out. There's a new form. Just normal old Samurats, but I'm not passing up an opportunity to shiny check yet. Not my most ideal choice for this combat, but I mean, we're here. It's better than getting pelted in the face by multiple dark pulses, so we'll take it. I really hope that it's strong style moves I need to do and not fast style. Yeah, we're good. I don't know how that Samurai saw me, but the one closer to me didn't. But we roll with it? I think we roll with it. Edge style. That's the opposite of what makes sense. Big bulky cat, you need to go fast, not go strong. Alright. Edge style move. Of course you see me. I don't think that there's gonna be any more. Wait, did you just survive a sticky glob? Didn't think of you as a type that required 2 of those. Speaking of requiring 2, let's get some Pokedex research done. Play rough animation 1. You know what? It's no Coliseum, but I've never realized that the animations in this game are pretty nice. It's like a fair compromise between efficiency and style. Conveniently covering up things that would be hard to animate. And I guess I like Mischievous enough that like I'm committed to not resetting this time. So instead of just quitting right away and going back to the reset grind, let's see if the Mischievous Outbreak has anything in store for us. We're almost up to 2. We're probably at about an hour and a half of. I'm gonna say that, but the more I think about it, the more we spent more time like resetting the stream than actually doing outbreaks. So no, we're probably nowhere close to actually being due for a Mass Outbreak. Shoot, I forgot to check to see if there's still anything we need to do in Miss Magius. Note they're both done. They're both full potential for sparkles. And this one's probably gonna obliterate me. This one's probably after my butt. I thought I had a dark type move, but it must have been like I must have replaced her Ugly's moveset once it evolved to master. Oh no, I have a nice slash here. We can work with this. I was hoping to do a bit more before I get knocked out, but it is what it is. We'll probably do some fast style leaf blades with Leafeon and be good. Right. Now you're in the red health. Probably Ultra Ball you and I really wanted to get at least one outbreak of the Pokemon I'm looking for. This feels like terrible luck. I haven't really had time to. Haven't done a lot of outbreaks, but also haven't had any. But also the resetting hasn't really led to anything worthwhile, or got me any closer to what I want to do. All this babbling to mention that I'm pondering taking a second BRB instead of flat out quitting the stream, because I'm gonna need to do one of the two relatively soon. Because let's just say I've had a lot of water. I guess we can leave it at that. I guess also my glass of water is about halfway empty, so like that'd at least be something I could take care of on the break as well. Yeah, screw it. I like to get as much as I can out of a mass outbreak when I commit to one. I've had the Pokedex filled out for Snover for a hot minute. I guess we can check that one out real quick. As much as I'd rather save the luck towards something we're looking for, I have had a little bit of an itching for a shiny Snover. Agile style, you need to do a few, right? Right. Let's see how I feel once we clear out this outbreak. Well, if nothing else, I can at least say I've gotten a significant amount of Pokedex grinding out of this stream, and a funny glitch for a funny clip. I just wish that I've actually had the opportunity to do at least one check for the shiny Pokemon that I'm looking for. The problem is, like, with there only being 2 left, in my goal of the Hisui shiny dex, that means a lot more opportunities for outbreaks that I'm not looking for. Where's that other Snover? Okay, there you are. Gonna say, I could have sworn I just saw you up the hill, or just saw you nearby not too long ago. I really hope I don't have to do Sword Stance anymore. Usually when I have a move in the top slot, and there's moves that have to be grind for the Pokedex, that means that move is one of them. At this point, I'm just making sure that there's not a secret wave, second wave, hiding in the back there. Rain. That's it for this one. And since I'm not resetting until I get, or should I say, since I'm saving this one for sure. Should I do the... No, I'm not gonna do the Oshawott. See, I mean, we're not even at hour 40. I guess we can squeeze in one more BRB. You know, I just realized I don't think I've cleaned out my ranch, my Pokemon storage in this game, since starting it. That could be problematic. Also, okay, cool. Poison powder is done, so I just need to do strong moves in general with Duck's attacks. And then that'll be done, and I can get a more competent Pokemon in the party. So I guess before I save and do the soft reset shenanigans, oh no! What are normal Snovers doing in the shiny box? My boxes aren't that full, are they? My pastures. That's the term I was actually looking for. Oh dear. Oh dear. I knew something was wrong. There's pasture X. That. Hang on tight, folks. We got a lot of cleaning out to do. Like, it's worse than I thought. Not only did I not clean out my storage since the last stream, or since the start of this stream, I apparently forgot to clean out my storage after the last stream. No wonder it's all flooded. This could take a hot minute. This is the fastest way to do it. Unfortunately. I don't know the freaking words. You don't know the freaking word. Time. We're even peeping into the unofficial boxes. Oh wait, I think I was intentionally keeping all these alpha unknowns. Like, I'm pretty sure most of this is like Pokemon Go. Pretty sure these shinies are Pokemon Go shinies that I put in the game for the fun of it, so they don't count. That's why I try normally not to show those boxes. I guess I won't even bother looking for the traded boxes for a bit. I'll clean the rest of it up off screen. I'm gonna find like all the shady trades I got online. The things that I want to believe are legitimate trades, but I find myself questioning because they were traded with a stranger on the internet. Man, all of that. No, there has to be more Pokemon. Because I refuse to believe that all of that. Yeah, like they flooded into all my other boxes. So it's gonna be like impossible for me to find the things that I'm legitimately trying to train or need for the Pokedex, and the things that are just fodder or just from this mess. You all go. anything that's not an alpha in here probably snuck its way. That Murkrow probably was not originally there, but it is an alpha, so it can stay. Oh, that is a normal Samura. Found you, imposter. You don't belong. Probably have no need to keep these alphas, but that's a problem to sort out in the future. Got the non-EVs. And here we are at the shiny boxes. So all should be good, but it doesn't hurt, and that gives me an excuse to show them off. These 3 non-shinies at the end are probably the last of it. Yeah, ignore that box. They're in a limbo state of need to release, yet they're in a limbo state of release, yet not released. Alright, so we're so close to 2 hours anyways. Here's the plan. I really want to get at least one outbreak of one of the 2 Pokemon that I'm looking for in this 2-hour time frame. So I will just check for mass outbreaks for like 10 minutes, or until the counter I have for the Twitch stream reads 2 hours on the top. If we find an outbreak before then that I want to do, if I find 1 to 2 outbreaks I want to do before that 2-hour mark, I'll do it and then end the stream. If we don't find it by the 2-hour mark, then I'm just ending the stream. That feels as fair as that could be to all parties involved. In the meantime, it gives me an excuse to check on Pokemon Sleep. I think I was gonna feed my Snorlax dinner before the stream started, but then right before I hit the dinner button, I realized that like I barely had any time before 7:30. So here we are. So don't mind me if I'm not really talking too much. Also, I've been streaming for 2 hours. Oh, did I? No, I didn't save at town. How did I get the same exact setup twice in a row? If I had an easy way to just mirror my phone, I'd just do that right now, so I could like commentate about me fixing my Snorlax dinner instead of just sitting on between these like 3 screens for the next 8 minutes. But it is what it is. Nothing too special with the Ninja Salad. Like, I know Ninja Salad's not the strongest dish in Pokemon Sleep for salads, but it's my strongest dish. And I've been able to constantly get the ingredients I need for it, outside of like Gengar kind of giving me so many fairy herbs that even after upgrading my storage for ingredients multiple times. I still have to. I guess we could call it selling. Have to sell access herbs. On the bright side, like, if I get a curry dish or something that uses fairy herbs next week, I'll be golden. The downside is at this event that I really wanted to make as many dishes as possible for, that ends this week. And I can't believe after all this time, there's not been a little outbreak. And like I said, gotta keep to my words. If it's not one of the two Pokemon we're looking for, it's exclusively gonna be hard resets. Maybe one day I'll have to remember to call it hard resets and not soft resets. Also don't want to talk too much because I've been commentating for about 2 hours. Not straight, but not exactly with long enough breaks in between to rest my voice. I'm pretty sure the last setup was different from the setup before. I'm pretty sure we're getting different sets of outbreaks. Yeah, here we go. I mean, between the two, I would have loved to get a Petalil outbreak, not Scyther, but I can't complain at this point. Been trying to get just one of the two for like 2 hours at this point. If I take out time for breaks, it might be closer to an hour and a half. I don't think I've taken half an hour worth of breaks. Definitely have had more breaks this stream than any other stream in a while, but I don't think it's been that much. Like, there's only been like 3 breaks, and they were all pretty brief. Yeah, no Scyther. Guess I haven't checked Pokemon Go since I've been out today. Maybe I could, like, open up gifts and take care of that. Man, did I really just stop the game right before the make Garchomp animation finished? It seems so. Oh, you got an egg catching. That's actually very unfortunate because that means I can't really open any more gifts. Out of fear of getting more 7-kilometer eggs, which sucks because, like, I go for my Pokeballs real fast in this game. I don't play in enough of an urban area to just have, like, unlimited Pokeballs at all times. So, like, it'd actually be nice to get the gifts. Get the items from them. For now, at least I can give gifts back because I know I'll be out tomorrow morning for a walk at some time. It probably won't be a long walk. It won't be a walk far away. It will be a walk. How many incubators am I just sitting on? Is the game not telling me, or do I really only have one of each type of incubator? Oh, Bloody Rose, welcome. I am doing just general Mass Outbreaks with a focus on Petalil and Scyther, because I am hunting for at least one in every Hisui exclusive family, And between the two, those are the two left. And like, we haven't come across one all stream. Granted, we've had some side tangents along the way, specifically because if I was just resetting until I got the outbreaks, I'd probably go mad. So we haven't exactly been resetting for the entire stream, but it sure is close to that. You know, it's kind of crazy how many new people we've been getting as of late. Like, between the 2 weeks that I've been streaming, you're like the 4th new person or so. Oh. Hey. It's a Scyther. It's a Scyther outbreak. I guess I should play the video game now. And it's a little out of the way though, so maybe we have time to like check a few other things along the way. I kind of want to treat myself to a shiny Chatot, even though I got like 3 already, because I was not able to go out for the Pokemon Go event where they specifically increased the odds of Chatot, which by the way is technically a regional form, so like I don't normally get a chance to catch Chatots in general, at least in Pokemon Go, and yet I still missed out on the entire event because they like happened like three days, all dead in, not dead in the evening, but pretty late in the evening, all things considered. See, you're hunting Rattatas and Sun. It's your first 3DS game, so first hunt. Well, I mean, at least you got the SOS chain, which I'm assuming if you're specifically hunting in... To be fair, it was a very short event. It was a very short event, so I don't blame you for missing it. It was like a musical theme event where, like, a bunch of Pokemon appeared at lures if you use if you use a lure stop on it. Bunch of musical themed Pokemon, like I forget exactly all of them, but there was like Audino, and I just know the big draw was that Chatot was there, regardless of your region, and they specifically increases the odds of it being shiny. God, I feel like I did a crime. I feel like I bring shame to all Chatot fans for being consciously aware of that event and still choosing to ignore it all. But like, it was like, I think it's like a... Again, I remember it only being for like 3 days, and I'm pretty sure it was later at 5 o'clock, maybe like a 6 to 8 time frame or so. I don't remember the exact details off the top of my head. I just kind of wish that they made a bigger deal of it and possibly made it a little more accessible, but I guess that was the catch. Like, we're giving you an opportunity to get a shiny for a region that you normally don't have access to, but the catch is, if you don't do it at the time frame we want, then you ain't getting it. Great. Now you got me wanting to like pull up the app right now just to check, but oh shoot. One of them sees me already. Do I complete the text? But yeah, I kind of gave up on the Pokedex in Pokemon Go specifically a while ago. Even if you exclude the regionals, it's rough. I've been playing the game from launch, and it's still kind of rough, especially if you don't have like easy access to raids and that. So I just take what they give me when I'm available to get it. So that's one Scyther. I think that's 2 Scythers. I think I'm gonna just try to catch all of them, even though I could use the field research, just so I don't have to pull up my counting app in the middle of this, because we've been well overdue. Oh, hello, surprise, Cleaver. Didn't see you there. Hello, surprise Cleavor number 2. Jeez, we just got a whole family reunion party going on here. And there's a third. Cool. I guess I should be impressed that it took me that long to get hit by any of them. Alright, is that all? That's it. Wow. That actually feels kind of anticlimactic. Yeah, before we do anything else, you got me really curious the details of that event. Yeah, okay. And Home Edge also debuted, but you wouldn't know because I think like the only places that it's available is Go Battle League and raids. And I have not seen a single raid for Home Edge. Granted, I only go out to walk during the weekend, so that might be part of it, but I certainly went a long period of time. I literally went the entire event not seeing the chat. And of course now I can't find the stupid event in the news app. You think I can find it if I put Google? I think if I put music event in Pokemon Go, you think it would pop up then? Oh yeah, summer concert. Yeah, it went from Saturday, July 19th to Tuesday, July 22nd. So technically I had my chance. Like 2 days during the weekend. But it starts at 5. Each of those days it started at 5 p.m. and ended at 8 p.m. So if you don't go out to walk in the evenings normally, that was kind of like a pain to get to. And then yeah, like Home Edge, I'm pretty sure the only places that appears normally, or like you can appear during this event, is in raids, which kind of sucks because like that feels like the big draw for this event. It says increase odds and encounters certain shiny Pokemon. What sort of shiny Pokemon are we talking about in particular? Oh. After the event, Home Edge will appear in both Go Battle League. Alright, so during the event, which is unfortunately almost over, I forget the exact date it ends, but it's already a few days in and I barely noticed it. Like, Sunday, July 27th. So unfortunately it's like only one more day before the event ends. And let's double check the places where you can find Home Edge. Also increase shiny odds for Bagon and Beldum specifically. That explains the random shiny belt that I found. Increased chance to encounter shiny unknown U in raids. Go Battle League. During the event, it'll appear as a Pokemon reward at rank 6. After the event, you can find them after rank 16. I guess that dumb grinding I've been doing in Go Battle League on the treadmill is gonna pay off after all, because I don't see how else I'm gonna get the Home Edge. Let's see, wild encounters, no Home Edge. Raids, 1-star raids include unknown U, stuff that's not Home Edge, and Home Edge. Field task rewards, not Home Edge. Collection challenges, not Home Edge. Knowing this game, unfortunately, I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a paid research that had Home Edge. Probably not though. I'm sure I would have saw some people on the GoCast podcast complaining about it being in a paid research if it wasn't actually in the paid research. But then, like, for its premiere in Pokemon Go, they sure as heck made Home Edge pretty rare, because like I did not see a single Home Edge raid the whole time I was out today. And I was out for like a decently long walk. Only thing I could think of is like there was technically another event going on, like the thing with Latios and Latias, but those are in like a separate thing that shouldn't really be in the way of what pops up in the raids. So I've just gotten really unlucky and haven't seen a single Hole Edge raid the entire time frame during the event. That's the thing that sucks about events that last less than a week. When you only play on the weekends, you don't really get a good opportunity for them to actually really engage in it if it's something you really want to engage in. You get, I guess you do at least get like 1 or 2 days. Oh, shoot. I'm botching up the shout out shenanigans. I really shouldn't even be pressing my luck because like I pretty confident I have 3 shiny shout outs already. I'm just like trying to make myself feel better about missing out in Pokemon Go in some shape or form. I really shouldn't be wasting my time with this Burmy, but it's right there. The tree is shaking. You never know when it's gonna sparkle. It'll only take like an extra second or two. Alright, where's the rest of the chat outs that I inevitably am gonna scare away? There's you. Oh my god, I hope that's the last chat out. Like, it sucks as the last chat out, but at least it's not the last chat out, and I have to roam the entire map trying to figure out where it ran off to. Unfortunately, that's all I can really think of to do around here. Yeah, I mean, as much as I would just like prefer to run the timeout, I've been going for 2 hours. I think it's time to end stream. My voice is kind of like asking for it anyways. So thanks for everyone for attending. Streaming's not my main thing, so I can't exactly promise when the next stream will be. But when I do stream, it is typically around this time of 7:30. Around this time that starts around 7:30. I'll try to put when I know I want to stream, I will try to post as far as advanced as possible. At the very least, schedule it on YouTube so people following the subscription feed get notified when it's there. And until the next time we meet, take care. Just a little sync up to make sure I don't end the stream a little too early. It would help if I put YouTube on. Okay, that's good. How's Twitch? I'm spinning around in circles on Twitch. We are set.